Namaskar. Welcome to Conversations with Rakesh. Here's today's question. Sir, I saw your video on social anxiety and it helped me a lot. My problem is that I'm not able to find the right words for conversation and I feel dreaded when the silence hits. How do I keep the other person engaged in a conversation? I can understand what you're going through. There are times that we are in the middle of a conversation and words just go away. And there is this dreadful silence. In many movies, it is depicted as a cricketing and beeping, and you can see and feel the awkwardness that comes to you and the other person. And you just don't know what to do. It happens in social settings. It happens in organizations when you are meeting people you don't know. And we are struggling to communicate. And conversations are very essential ways to meet, greet, have social conversations, chit chat, because it leads to stronger relationships and conversations. But the challenge sometimes all of us have is the social anxiety, which we covered in the video that you should watch. And of course, the ability to think and connect with the other person so that the conversation moves forward. So it's a two-way street. Both people have to work on the conversation, otherwise, the energy collapses. So, here's some of the ideas I could suggest with you, and some of the anecdotes I know about how conversations became very meaningful engagements. One of the best meaningful engagement I have heard is a story which is true because I know this person and the other person as well. They both were strangers on a plane and they were sitting next to each other. It was a 2.5 hour flight from Delhi to Bangalore. And just like how two people on a plane meet, they had very polite exchange of greetings. They probably started chatting on a topic that was common. They probably figured out that they know somebody in common. And then the conversation became very meaningful. They both talked about how they worked in different companies, but how they both wanted to work on something which was very relevant for the country. And the plane landed, they exchanged their phone numbers, and within 24 hours, they met again. And within 4 days of that meeting, they both decided that I think this meeting was bound to happen. This conversation was very meaningful. And they both actually started a company together, which is doing very well right now. There are so many movies which are very romantic where two strangers meet and there's a love angle. I don't think it happens all the time, but nevertheless, conversations can lead to something very beautiful. But I think we must realize that you should not start the whole conversation with the agenda inside because it takes away the fun, charm, and the connection. So, some of the ground realities and ground requests I have for you for a meaningful conversation is one, take the agenda away. Here is a person in front of you. Don't try and quickly realize a potential in the relationship. Engage with the person. Both of you come with different backgrounds, find something common and have a conversation. Now, the question comes, how do you do that? So, here are some suggestions for you. The first thing is liberate yourself from this feeling that a conversation is equal to communication. These are connected, but not always true all the time. A conversation is so much more than you just communicating. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you meet a person and you're good at communication. You know how to speak. You are very, very good at it. And if you just keep speaking and don't allow the other person to even respond or make them feel connected, it's a bad communication. A conversation is about two people having a chemistry, some kind of a ground where they understand each other, and both of them have a conversation. They say something, you say something, they listen, and the energy grows. And you can make out that the conversation is in the right direction because it is very spontaneous. And if it is not, probably it's not a great conversation, and you should know how to end it and say, nice meeting you, and tata bye bye. That is also fine. But if you are on the right track and if you can strike a conversation, which is done by step number one, connect with the person, make that person feel a little bit comfortable with you around them. Step number two, listen more. I think the best conversationist is a person who speaks very, very less and gives the other person a chance to talk. And this is where I have a technique that I use. I read it in a good book. That book is a very nice book written in 1937 by Dale Carnegie. There's a chapter on that book. And this book is a landmark book. We should all know about it. The chapters are very simple to understand. I'll tell you what that chapter talked about. Let's say there is a person and you want to have a conversation, and you know this person. You know that this person has gone somewhere. So all you have to do is go to this person and ask an open-ended question and sit down. So for example, this person has just returned from a trip. This is hopefully COVID-19, pre-COVID-19 days. So you go to this person and say, Ajay, I saw on Facebook that you went to this very nice place and there was a nice photo of you and your family. Tell me more about it. And that's it. And let Ajay share their views, listen, nod, maintain the energy, make sure Ajay gets the chance to speak. Don't look here and there and look at your cell phone and your watch to give a signal that you're not interested. See if you can match the energy. And be careful of step number two. Avoid telling your story now, because this is where most people interrupt and say, oh yeah, I also went to that nice place, I had a great time, this place was horrible, and that's it, the conversation is gone because you've taken away the energy of the other person. So step one, connect. Step two, listen. And in listening, give the other person time, let them talk more, engage with them. Remember that if you give them the comfort and respect, they would want to have a good conversation with you. Now, step number three is very critical. Let's say you are hitting a dead end because the conversation is drying up. Take something from the conversation and re-engage on that. Or take a very different topic and ask another question, or probably offer your point on that particular topic and nudge the conversation in a very different path. And let's say you are not able to do that. Don't worry about it. See if you can just be there for 3, 4 seconds. Sometimes the brain is very rusty and there's a lot of social anxiety, and you are in a anxiety mode that I have to say something. Relax. Give it 3, 4 seconds. Chances are the other person will also be so awkward at that point of time that they'll start the conversation. So don't think that you are the one who's responsible for the conversation. Both of you are. I think the problem comes when we mix conversation with meeting the boss, because there we feel obliged that we have to have a conversation, so I should talk. It's not true. So disconnect all these issues that you're bothered with and look at the foundations of conversation. A good conversation is about good non-verbals as well, your face, your eye contact, and a little bit of nice stories. And if you can offer these few things, connect, listen, do not interrupt, do not tell your sad stories, do not disagree on every point, and build the energy, I think the foundations of conversations are done. And once the foundations of conversations are done, I think you can now go and meet anyone, apply these techniques, no agenda, and see how this path leads you. There are so many lovely examples of conversations that I have had in my life. You meet people in the travel spaces, you meet your colleagues. I think you should be genuinely interested in people. If you're genuinely interested in people, I think the next step is to have the courage to go and meet them. This is where social anxiety has to be removed. So watch that video. And now strike that conversation on a topic which is very light and find that common ground. It could be an open-ended question. It could start with something very simple that you observe in the other person, like the other person is reading a book. So you can always go and ask the person, nice book, what is it about? And if they give you a non-verbal that, what are you doing? Don't disturb me. Apologize and say, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to intrude you. Please continue reading the book and go away. But if the other person puts the book down and says, this book, yeah, come sit, I'll tell you, I think you're on the right track. Let the person talk. And then ask another question, offer something in return. I think this book is very similar to this book I've read or a movie I've watched. I think it was a great thing. and then the conversation starts to move somewhere in the right direction. If you follow these basic principles, that don't have any agenda, don't be in the pressure zone that I have to talk. Sometimes awkward silences are okay. And if you can let the other person also participate and have the conversation go forward, it'll work. Listen more, give non-verbals, and match the energy of the other person. I think you can have a great conversation, which hopefully will result in a meaningful conversation and a relationship, a network, anything that benefits their life and your life. Stay safe.